STP. Hello guys and welcome back. We're here for our second series today of the STPL Season 3. This is going to be between two of the best teams outside of South Korea, iRk and NetWars. It's the pride of Poland against the Swedish Supremes. I gotta think of a better thing for there, but VT are a mix between South Americans and Koreans, and White Clan are pure Korean. So White Clan are actually our only pure Korean clan. The crazy thing about this series, as you'll soon see, is the players we've got here are some of the best players outside of Korea. There's also the return of a relatively old school Terran, if I remember correctly. I don't know too much about him, but I know he's been in chat today. In body. But this is the format, just in case you haven't seen the STPL before. All the matches are best of 5, minus the finals, which is best of 7. Set 1 to 4 are the lineups are selected in advance, and all the games are played at the same time. Set 5 is the ace match, and every player can compete again. Just important to bring that up, just in case anyone's new to the tournament. Makes it a little bit easier to understand. Now, I'm Kix. If you've never seen me before, we are about to get into our first series. This is the tournament I've organised, put a lot of love, time and effort into. Just want to say a massive shout out to our sponsors, Liquipedia, Matrino and Esport Fund. All of their help and all of their assistance is what helps us keep going with this, and it also makes the prize pool nice and big for the players. Just to have a look at the overall prize pool at the moment, totaling up the money from Liquipedia, the money from Esport Fund, we started with $1,000, and we've actually got an additional $233 to add to the prize pool. If you want to add some money completely free, you can go to this Matrino link and enter the code LSTPL, STPLS3 to donate 50 cents to the prize pool completely free. We've got a good number of those codes from Matrino, so use them up, and that'll just help grow the prize pool even more at no cost to you. But let's introduce both of our teams for our first matchup here. Starting us off is going to be NetWars, the pride of Poland. I think outside of White Clan, they're the only single nation team in the entire STPL. We're a very global league here, but NetWars fully Polish. Some of the best players in StarCraft outside of Korea are from Poland. And we'll actually see one, two, or maybe even 3 of them, maybe even 4, depending on how you look at it here. I mean, we've got Kogut, arguably one of the best foreign Terrans in the STPL. He is the best foreign Terran by a long shot. He's 3rd overall, has a chance if he can win today and carry on his 4-win streak to actually make it into the top 2 players, overthrowing Noob, who's not actually been playing too much for Seoul recently. We've got Ziggy, who is a really good Polish Terran as well. He's maybe not at the top level of the foreign scene, but he's still incredibly good. We've got Yeti, who may not ever really do too well in the BSL, but in the STPL, he has been absolutely killing it, taking down ASL qualified Bjol, taking down other really fantastic players in macro games as well. And I would say Zero, of course, Mr. Bombastic, basically proprietor of the BSL. He does all of the observing, all of the production, and all of the organizing. And their opponents is actually going to have a familiar face for many of you. It's actually going to be True Touch. Now, True Touch in Season 1 played alongside Bonith in NetWars, but he has defected. At the end of Season 1, he decided not to play any clan leagues anymore. Season 2, he didn't play. And then in Season 3, he joined iRk. So we've got iRk True Touch now against his former teammates. Could be a little bit of friction there, I highly doubt it, but it's always fun to make a story. And we've also got DeWalt, who's the best Russian player. One of the top 2 best Protoss players outside of Korea. Really good streamer. He mainly streams in Russian. I'm not really too sure how good his English is, because whenever I've watched, he's always speaking Russian. But really, really cool guy to watch. One of the strongest players in the STPL as well. Look at his win rate, guys. He's played 53 games, and he's won 41 of them. That's ridiculous. Who does that? Who can come out? It's just crazy. Then you've got Oya, one of the best Swedish players. He's got around a 50% win rate, which in a team league is incredibly good. And then you've got Vodi, who's a relatively more... he's an older school player, I believe, also from Sweden. Back again, fighting for iRk. Really, really cool to see him back. Vodi, I have to admit, I know you're in chat. I don't actually know too much about you, so I'm hoping to learn about your play as we get into the games. Now let's have a look who is going to be playing against each other. We're starting off with Ziggy versus True Touch. We're going to be having a PvP between Yeti and DeWalt, who are the stronger PvP players in the STPL up against each other. That should be incredible. We're going to have a TVP between Koga and Oya. Koga's TVP, one of his best matchups. I think TVZ is definitely stronger for him, and TVT is good as well. But TVP, I'd say out of all three, is a little bit weaker. And Oya's PvT is really good, so that could actually be a very, very close game. Looking forward to that on Fantasy 2. And then we're going to have a ZVT between Mr. Zero, Mr. Bombastic, and Vodi. That should be really, really cool as well. ZVT, obviously the fan favorite matchup across StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2, which is really, really cool. But looking forward to that. Let's have a look at our first couple of players, then we'll introduce the map. Starting us off here for NetWars is going to be Ziggy. You may not know too much about Ziggy, but he's actually really good in both StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2. He casts both games. You may have seen him cast... he didn't cast STPL, but he's offered to, and he's casted BSL before. The strange thing about Ziggy, and something that I've never seen with any other non-native English speaker, is when I first heard him, when I watched one of his casts, I think he was casting CPL or BWCL or something, I genuinely thought he was English, and I didn't realize for the longest time he was from Poland. He has got the most English accent of anyone I think I've ever met. He legit sounds like he's from like East London. It's crazy. I don't know how it... Like, I've even checked, he's never lived in the UK, but his UK accent is amazing. Like, crazy, crazy good. Makes him a really good caster, of course, because everyone loves UK casters across... pretty much all esports. English casters, they're up there. Hopefully one day I'll be at the level where people will look at me like Joe Miller and say, that guy's a good caster. But you never know. We'll see how that goes. We also make good villains as well. So, but Ziggy, overall, a really good Terran player. He's not actually won this matchup before, and he's actually up against a really strong opponent here. So this is going to be a little bit tough. But overall, he's doing pretty well. So let's introduce his opponent. He needs no introduction. Multiple-time BSL champion. Multiple-time BSL finalist as well. One of the best players in Poland. One of the top 2 non-Korean Zerg players. Really, really strong. Now, TVZ, or ZVT in this case, has not been his strongest matchup. He's still got a 60% win rate overall. But essentially... I mean, True Touch, if you're ever betting against him in a ZVT, when it's him versus like anyone else outside of Korea, I would argue that it's kind of impossible to bet against him. He's so strong, and I'm so looking forward to casting this game. Let's introduce the map. They're going to be heading into Andromeda. Now, Andromeda is actually pretty damn good for Zerg. We did have a game just before. The duration isn't in just yet because I input that afterwards. But it was around a 15-minute game. Fairy kind of threw the game away a little bit, but essentially the map is so open in the middle. There's so many ways that Zerg can backstab you when you leave your base on this map. It's very dangerous for Terran. Muteless don't have too much space to move into the main, but they have a very open natural to attack. And Zerg essentially get a free third base. It's not a third gas, but it's still minerals, and it's quite easy to take another main. So hopefully we will get a macro game here, but given the lineup, I think one of our players might do something a little bit cheeky here. We'll have to see who it is as we get into game number 1 of NetWars versus iRk. It's Ziggy versus True Touch. Okay, our match has begun. I've just noticed I've noticed the overlay, the fade it does is like way off center. I resized all the overlay recently, but it's fine. Starting us off here in the top left hand corner is going to be the white Terran player fighting for NetWars from Poland. It's Ziggy. Fellow countrymen and ex-teammates spawning down here in the bottom right hand corner in the pink. It's True Touch fighting for iRk. Now, given the caliber of players here, this could be a rough matchup for Ziggy, but Ziggy is definitely not someone you want to discount and to discredit. One thing to remember as well is because they are ex-teammates and also fellow countrymen, it's very likely they've played a lot of games together, so this game may look a little bit weird, which is why I think one of them is probably going to do something a bit strange and we'll have a little bit of a quicker game. It looks like Ziggy's going to wall in at the front. Ziggy definitely more of a mech player, I would say, in TVZ based on what I've seen, than a bio player. Now that actually leaves you a little bit more exposed early game. Now the problem with this is you can wall in, and I think in this spawn it's actually link tight, but the Marines are going to be spawning outside of the wall, which means if True Touch does something with this 9 pool and goes for a massive amount of lings or something like that, it could actually be quite problematic here for Ziggy. Now Ziggy is not going to scout first, but he is going to be able to get to his opponent's main before the lings come out, which is super important. Now there is going to be a drone scout even coming in here for True Touch. Going to actually scout first, so got a little bit lucky there. Did True Touch, didn't go to the wrong base. But gas is done. Gas is being mined. We are going to see a factory come in behind this. Now you can already see that the barracks has had to be lifted. Now that does finish the wall, so it is going to be a link tight wall here. This it doesn't look like it, but this is actually just above this, which is actually link tight. So this is one of the problems. It's so frustrating to deal with this as a Terran player. Like, no other race knows what this feels like. I know that there's a lot of stuff going on with Protoss blocking drones and hatcheries and whatnot. There is nothing more annoying than trying to build a building and your SCV just sitting on the outside. Like, it's so annoying. And the trouble is, this isn't finished. And guess what? When a building isn't finished, you can't repair it. So this means if these lings get in on time, if they can cancel it again, this could just very well be game over right here, right now. There's a single Marine to defend against all of these lings. I mean, luckily enough, this base is a ling tight wall, so he is going to be able to defend against this. But at what cost? He's going to have to pull SCVs to repair. He's going for a factory. Do we still have any gas mining? Oh, he pulled off of gas, so it's not going to be a starport. Going to be an expansion here. And it looks like True Touch is going to cut his losses. He's not going to try and lose any lings by attacking the wall. But I almost feel like attacking the wall here would actually be pretty good. Like, you could go here, and I don't think... Well, I think the Marine is just about in range, but if you pull back the damaged lings, you'll eventually be able to like do quite a bit of damage that you need to repair. So I guess pulling them back does keep them alive for the eventual factory, or the eventual vulture that's coming in here. Armory's coming up as well. Now the one thing I'm praying for, but I don't think we're going to see, is I'm really hoping Ziggy is going to go for some kind of Valkyrie play here, but it's probably just going to be 2 Factory Goliath. That's kind of the more standard mech opening. I know there's like the 5-fact push, but that starts off the back of a 2-fact Goliath build, so no starport is on the way yet for him. Now, we do have a 2 Hatchery Muteless play coming in here from Ziggy, from True Touch even, so that's pretty good. Now, I wonder how aggressive True Touch is going to go with this, because you can go all in with 2 Hatch, and that can be a little bit problematic for our Terran player. But you can also do an economic 2 Hatch build. Now, it looks like that's what we're going to see here. The Spire is now coming in. We've got a decent drone count already from our Zerg player, actually matching the SCV count, which is really, really impressive. Now, I mean, this Overlord is possibly going to go down here, but look at this. The drone... Oh, no, oh, no. You need more SCVs to repair this. Ziggy's not going to be able to repair this. The Lings are going to get in the base. The Vulture hasn't even spawned yet. He went for a machine shop first. He skipped Vulture entirely. 2 of the supply depots have gone down. GG. Ziggy taps out, and True Touch takes an incredible first win. Poor Ziggy, man. That feels so horrible. But just not having any units to repair that wall lost him the game. Yeah, that's definitely not a position you want to be in as a Terran player. The trouble is, when you're in that position, you get supply blocked. The Mutalists are going to come in eventually, and you will not have the number of Goliaths you need to defend against it. Ziggy needed to repair that wall. I think Ziggy would definitely be a little bit salty after that game. I know I certainly would, but Ziggy is a better player than me. So, Custom Use, EF actually beat White Clan. They beat them 3-1. So that was a massive, massive upset in week 1. Pretty cool. But we're going to be heading into our second game when we get back after this short break. I just want to get a drink. And then we'll be heading into DeWalt versus Yeti, 2 of the best ranked PvP players in the STPL. So looking forward to it as we get in with, EF beat White with game number 2. See you guys in a sec. Toss a coin to your content creators, oh Valley of Plenty, oh Valley of Plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your content creators, a friend of humanity.
And people like Kix, for example, who has an encyclopedic knowledge of every map that's ever been released on StarCraft. And
he's the map man! Skibidi-bidi-bidi-on-do-do-do. Skibidi-on-do-do-do. Skibidi-bidi-bidi-on-do-do-do. He's the map man! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dee-da-ba-ba-da-bo. Ba-ba-ba-da-bo. Bee-da-ba-ba-da-bo. Ba-ba-ba-da-bo. Everybody plays one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. If Kicks can do it, so can you.
Please don't listen to him for maps.
Yeah.
Okay guys, welcome back to the STPL Season 3. We're currently on NetWars versus iRk, a really cool matchup. If you know anyone who's not in here and normally watches the STPL, go grab them. If they don't watch the STPL, grab them anyway. This is a really sick matchup. We're going to be heading in to game number 2. Yes, it's going to be a PvP, but it's going to be between two of the best Protoss versus Protoss players in the STPL, and you'll see from the win rate. Here we go. Starting us off for NetWars is going to be Yeti. Now, a lot of people don't rate Yeti as a good player, but in Team League formats, man, this man is an absolute monster. Taking down so many strong players, even in his last 10 games. 70% win rate overall, rank 9 in the STPL. And against Protoss, over 21 games, he's got a 71% win rate. That is insane. And Yeti is a really good player. He's actually playing with a wrist injury still as well. So despite the fact he's got a wrist injury, he plays in the STPL. He plays his heart out as well. And he does an incredible job. Now his opponent, people see him as one of the best Protoss players outside of South Korea. And there is a very good reason for that. Because he is incredible. It's going to be the one, the only, DeWalt. Now DeWalt, unlike Yeti, has played less PvPs, but he's actually got an 88% win ratio against Protoss. He's met Yeti 3 times in the STPL, and every single time he's managed to take him down. Castamuse calling DeWalt the Russian Stork, which is a really good nickname for him actually. Like DeWalt, really fun to watch. Next to Bonneth, of course, at the top of the Protoss pantheon outside of South Korea, and rank 5 in the SCPL with the most number of wins of any player. Over 53 weeks, he's won 41 of his games, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Now, we're going to be heading into our second map here. It's going to be Hitchhiker. Hitchhiker, one of the more common maps of recent times, given the fact it's in the current ladder map pool and was in ASL Season 9. It's actually a map from 2007, 2006. It was a really good map back in Pro League. It was a really good map when we used it in STPL Season 1. And genuinely, it's just a really good map. Like, a lot of people think it's weird, but the things that make it weird actually make it really fun. It's very difficult to push through the middle of the map after like the first 5 minutes. So it means a lot of the action spreads around the outside. I don't know why, but I'm doing like arm movements, like trying to hug the screen almost to show you how the units move around the edge. But it's very difficult to get four gases on this map, so there's a lot of strategic play, a lot of positional play, and a lot of really well thought out build orders. Now this is a PvP. We've already seen in STPL this week, we've had a crazy PvP with Quanwu versus Moray. So are we going to see one of those, or is Yeti going to be able to replicate his success from 2019 and get a win here over DeWalt on Hitchhiker? Let's find out as we get into game number 2. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we have the Magenta Protoss player fighting for iRk. It's the Russian revolutionist. It's DeWalt. And that's a bit of a weird nickname. Maybe not going to use that one again. and his opponent hailing from Poland. It's the abominable snowman himself, it's Yeti. Now I think I start with this story every single time I cast a PvP. Genuinely, I used to hate PvP. Unless Bisu or Best were playing in it, I didn't watch it. I did not care for PvP whatsoever. Stork didn't care. Like, Jangby didn't care. Like, PvP was just terrible to me. I never saw the appeal. But as STPL went on, I saw more and more PvPs, and now it's actually one of my favorite matchups to watch. It's so back and forth. The one problem PvP can have is after you get past the initial early game, it's very hard for either player to push each other. So you often see them both, you pretty much have both players just sitting back and macroing up, and then going for mass like drops and stuff like that, which is interesting, but it takes a while to get there. Now, DeWalt, not the creator of the Polish recall that was Bonith, but definitely someone to watch out for. Actually, oh my god, DeWalt actually going for a mana pylon here now. That mana pylon actually isn't that good. It's going to block off this patch, but it's not the biggest of deals. He didn't get his unit or didn't get any probes stuck or anything like that. Now, Yeti has chosen to scout. He's actually attacking the gateway. Now, DeWalt is ignoring it for now, but can you imagine if in like 10 minutes this goes down? Now, DeWalt is playing very, very annoyingly, very aggressively as well, going for a second pylon here. Now, if DeWalt goes for Horror... Okay, ooh, what a pick-off by that Zealot. I was going to say, if he goes for Horror Gates, that's going to be a massive, massive BM move. Like, Horror Gates are insane. Like, he's even got a gateway in his main base. Just building 2 gateways in your opponent's mineral line is one of the worst things you could possibly do. But it works. And Bisu did it against, I think it was Pokju back in the day. And he actually made him retire, because that's how much it sucked. But we're not going to see that. We are going to see a lot of lost mining time, though. Well, not lost mining time, lost minerals by DeWalt. Yeti actually doing a pretty good job defending against the Zealot as well. He's only lost a single probe so far. Zealot going to come in behind, does want to keep these alive. Oh my god, he's going to drill on top of the Zealot, going to keep it from getting any of these probes. Yeti doing a very, very good job defending here. Only losing a single probe to DeWalt's Zealot micro. That is not easy. Like, this is a really, really nice hold. Going to take down both of the pylons. Make it so he's like mining a little bit more efficiently. And I mean, that's almost perfect. And look at that block! The Zealot's like, I'm going to come in behind the mineral line. And Yeti's like, nope. No, you're not. Only losing a single probe so far. Oh my goodness. Yes, it was a single probe. A single Zealot, sorry. He lost a single probe against DeWalt's micro. That is incredibly well done by Yeti. Wow. What a really, really nicely played opening from Yeti so far. Now, both players are, of course, going to go into range. Although, did he get range? He must have done. Oh my goodness, Yeti is actually going to break down the back door. Yeti is going to play this incredibly aggressively rather than go through the middle of the map where he knows his opponent is going to have the high ground advantage up this ramp. He's actually just going to push through the back. Now that is not a bad decision. Robo is coming up for both players, which means this should be a little bit easier. Now DeWalt is actually going to go and scout for this. Sending that probe out, making sure nothing strange is going on, like no proxy robos or anything like that, but DeWalt could actually proxy something weird up here. That'd be a little bit weird, but it looks like it's just going to be a scouting pylon for now. I mean, this Zealot is going to take forever to get through here, but Yeti, sniffing DeWalt coming, is going to move down his ramp. He's actually got a better Dragoon count here, so if he pushes forward... The trouble is, I don't think he ever got range. Yeah, he forgot range, so he's not going to be able to chase those down. But imagine if he got 2 free Dragoons as well. That'd be 2 free pylons, essentially a free Zealot, and 2 Dragoons, and he would be in an incredibly good position. But looks like Yeti still isn't done with this. DeWalt, though, is going to go and scout for this, so he does know that Yeti will push behind. Now, the interesting dynamic on this map is to get around the backside of the map. It takes forever. And in that time, DeWalt is going to be able to push through the middle of the map and maybe able to take a very quick win over Yeti here, but it's going to be tough because he's still going to have a lot of units coming towards him. It's still 1 gate for Yeti, meanwhile DeWalt has actually gone up to 2. There is a support bay coming in after obs here for Yeti. I don't think that DeWalt saw this, but he is going to go back and check. Yeah, he's going to see it now, so he knows what Yeti's plan is. But even if he opens that up, Yeti doesn't have to necessarily push through there. Now, second gateway is finally coming in. Robo support bay is coming in as well. I think, yeah, DeWalt's is actually ahead of time. So he is going to have a little bit of an advantage. He is going to have a higher supply. He's actually managed to get 5 more probes than Yeti has. Now, going up to 29 probes, 30 probes now is not that efficient. It's not going to help you too much on one base, but it does help you when you eventually do expand, because it's obviously going to allow you to saturate that second base a little bit quicker. Now both of the observers going to be chasing each other. The good thing is Yeti knows the observer's on his tail, so we'll be able to avoid getting killed by the Dragoons. Very important, you don't want to lose your first observer in PvP. Like, if you lose your first observer in PvP, you're essentially just putting yourself behind now. Oh my god, he needs to pull this away. Oh, the observer's going to go down. That's a little bit unfortunate. He's putting himself a little bit inherently behind now because he's going to have to build another observer. But with both players going for Reaver, looks like DeWalt is going to play defensive Reaver, whereas Yeti is going to go for a more aggressive style here. Probe scouting out the fact the units are... Wait. Okay, he does see. I was going to say, like, if he doesn't see these units coming, it's going to be a massive problem. But we do have DeWalt moving into a position to defend against this. There is a scouting pylon as well that'll help a little bit. Actually does view the middle of the map as well, which helps. So here we go. Oh no, the Reaver and the Shell, the Reaver and the Shell, the Reaver and the Shell. It's going to go down. It's going to... Oh, it's so tough here. The Shell goes down. So this Reaver is essentially marooned in the middle of nowhere. I mean, maybe in about 10 years, it's going to be able to waddle its way up to DeWalt's main. Yet he does get a better end of the engagement there, but does lose that shuttle. That's going to be more robotics time spent away from building another observer. But here we go. Looks like we are going to have DeWalt move forward. Yeti move forward as well. The Reaver is eventually going to come up and help this, but he's got no way of saving it, and neither has DeWalt. This actually what? Oh my god. He gets a really good engagement on... Oh my goodness, he gets a massive engagement on that Reaver. Looks like a big set of Scarabs going down on Yeti's units though. But I think Yeti actually out... Yeah, Yeti does have more units than DeWalt here. And if he can micro back against this Reaver and not take any damage, he is getting in a very good spot. And it looks like Yeti came in at the front, did try and do a little bit of damage to the natural, didn't quite manage it. But Yeti's actually in a pretty good spot right now. The Reaver of Yeti is actually... Did he not build a second Reaver? Oh my god, the Reaver is actually... The Reaver is running through the middle of the map to go and kill DeWalt. Okay, looks like he is going to pick it up with a shot. Okay, that's a little bit better. But looks like we are going to have... Oh no, the Reaver's going to catch Yeti's units. Oh! He tried to dive on the Reaver, tried to get in there to try and do the damage he needed to do, but unable to do so. Now, what would actually be a really clever move here by Yeti was if he elevates his units back into the natural. DeWalt is actually going to be able to get back down here, but Yeti's going to be fighting with less units. But here we go, the Dragoons are actually on top of the shuttle. Is he going to be able to target down the Reaver? It's so close. Oh my god, that Scarab was massive. But he gets the Reaver, and DeWalt loses the shuttle. There's no Reaver to defend the natural. It's going to be Reaver against no Reaver. And things are looking a little bit tough here for DeWalt even. Oh, there is a Reaver here now. This is actually going to be a massive problem. This Reaver going to do so much damage. But the Reaver from... Oh no, the Reaver from Yeti, his Scarabs are bugging out. Oh my goodness, DeWalt, the expansion is actually kicking in now. And he's able to get enough units. Now, there's still some Dragoons up near the main base. This Reaver can run into the main right now. There's no defense. Now, Yeti is, in this time, trying to defend against this. Now, the Reaver on the high ground, not going to be able to attack the natural mineral line. Is going to be able to get a few pot shots on these Dragoons, but does need to get away. No Reaver speed, or shuttle speed even. Reaver speed would be a little bit broken. But let's see if this can actually happen. Okay, it does get away. So, Yeti, not in a bad position, but still down 30 supply now. DeWalt definitely pulling ahead in this game. It did look a little bit better for Yeti a little bit earlier on, but unfortunately, We're not going to be seeing that here. Now, Probe is going to get into the main base and scout everything. It's 1, 2, 3 gateways, count them, against 2. So, Yeti, if he can expand, should realistically be able to at least expand safely. Oh my goodness, can you imagine if DeWalt cannon rushes up here? That would actually be really good. Cannon rush the gas. Okay, we've got all Reavers and Dragoons in the middle of the map. Looks like the Reaver's not in a position to drop out. Oh my god, DeWalt's gonna get the shuttle. No, he's not. Oh my goodness, DeWalt actually throwing away a ton of units there, but the Reaver Scarab's not really doing too much. Does need to be careful not to play like too aggressive. But let's have a look. Looks like Yeti wanted to go on the high ground, but unfortunately that's not going to help him too much because now he has 2 Dragoons in the middle of nowhere. Oh no, that's going to be game. Losing, yeah, there we go. GG, Yeti taps out. Little bit of a misclick on his shuttle. Gives DeWalt his 2 Reavers. And as soon as that happened, the game was done. GG. DeWalt takes his 4th game over Yeti in the STPL. Now that was a little bit unfortunate. Yeti actually played incredibly well at the beginning of that game, only losing a single Zealot, a single probe to the Zealot micro and aggression of DeWalt. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. DeWalt was able to get his expansion up. Yeti never really managed to push in when he had the timing to, because DeWalt just had his units in the right place. And despite a very close game, DeWalt comes out in the end as our victor. We are going to give DeWalt the win there. That's actually going to take the series 2-0. So it's going to be up to Koga and Zero to keep the dreams alive here for NetWars. As we get back after this short break. See you guys soon. Okay, starting us off down here in the bottom left-hand corner as your Black Zerg here. It's going to be Dog fighting in the 9 o'clock position. And his opponent spawning up here in the top right-hand corner is going to be the one, the only, Pre fighting for DM from Chile. Going to be heading across the map, and they're going to see if they can make it in. Now, no way is Pre going to hide a base in the other main. That is so ridiculous. Caught off guard. The muters are going to die. Oh my goodness. Splitting the muters, trying to get away. But he's banking 1.2k gas. There's going to be a Queen's Nest. I know it. We can feel it. There's going to be a Hive ZBZ. Pre is playing this so strange, but here we go. Looks like the Muters going to come in. A lot of Muters have actually hatched now for Pre, but look at the spore colonies doing their work. Pre is going for a counter-attack. He isn't even bothered if he loses drones. He's got so many of them. The spores buying so much time, and there's no defense in this top left-hand base. Oh my goodness, so many drones are going down, and Dog, he's got no economy. He's only on 15 drones. More are gonna die. What a crazy situation. Looks like Dog has come back with his Muteless. He did kill a good number of spore colonies. Looks like most of the drones survived. And losing these Muteless are a problem. I mean, Dog does save 14 drones, but he's barely mining. Now here we go, looks like the Muteless going to come back 3 spores at a time, targeting these Muteless. They're going down so quickly. And for every drone that, or for every spore colony that goes down, that's another drone that is wasted. But, oh my god, the Evo Chamber. Is the Evo Chamber getting focused? What is he even attacking here? I can't even tell what's going on. There's so much going. So many glaives everywhere. Pre is holding on. Oh my god, Dog's units are slowly starting to fall. He's trying to get the gas. He thinks this is the only base. Wow, this is such a crazy ZBZ. What an absolute treat to have in the first series of the STPL Season 3. The spores are going down. Dog thinks he's at an unsurmountable lead here. He's like, I'm on 2 base, you're on 1. I've killed all of your spores. You've got no gas. What are you going to do? Little does he know, Pre's got another base. Okay, that base is going to get spotted, surely. How did Dog not see that base? Oh my goodness. Only got 2 carapace here. Still no Queen's Nest. Still... Oh! Queen's Nest. Okay, we're doing it. Double Spire Queen's Nest Hive. 18 minutes into the game. He banked about 2k gas. And it's Hive time. Oh no! Oh, Dog scouted it. He's finally seen the base. He's probably kicking himself right now. My goodness. Oh man, that's so unfortunate. But here we go. The Mule's gonna fly in at the top right, or yeah, top left. He knows his opponent's Mules are down in the bottom left. And he, oh my god, he's got Mules at all the bases. Mules at all the bases. Dog has lost most of his drones at his 3rd base. Most of his drones at his natural have gone down. Pre actually subbed in for Dark Swarm. And I'm gonna be completely honest with the way this is going. I'm glad. This has been such a crazy ZBZ. I just want Ensnare. I want Ensnare or Plague. Just make it happen. He's, oh my god, he's going melee upgrades. He's going to break through the X and kill him with Lings. But here we go. Looks like the main is going to come under fire. Great Aspire is in. Oh my god, this is so many muteless. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Let's have a look at this in all of its glory. I don't want to even touch the mouse. So many muteless from Pre. Dog is going to fall here. And oh my god, this is just unbelievable. So many muteless. Pre is going to take us into the ace match, and there is nothing that Dog can do about it. The Great Aspire is going to go down. GG. The supplies at the end of that are 166 to 32. That is how good that game was. Let's head in to the ace match when we get back after this short break. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for our next map here. It's map number 3. iRk are currently up 2-0, so it's going to be up to this legend, the Polish powerhouse himself, Koga, to try and hold on for NetWars here. If he cannot win this game, they will be losing the match. So all is to play for. Now, Koga, one of the stronger Terrans in the STPL, and a whopping 83% win rate overall, and that's across 42 games, which is ridiculous. He's won at the very least his last 10 games. I can't remember if he's actually got a longer win streak than this. I can double check. Let me have a look. He's actually won his last 11 games in a row, so this could be, if he wins here, his 12th game in a row. He's actually won 5 TVPs in a row. He's won 6 TVZs in a row. And he's actually on a 10-0 win streak against Terran. So, just saying guys, Koga is pretty strong. It's going to be kind of tough for his opponent here. Now, his opponent is no slouch himself. It's one of the better players from Sweden. It's going to be Oyaji. Now, Oya is actually a really strong Protoss player. A little bit more aggressive than some of the other Protoss players here. It has got a 50% win rate over 31 games, which is quite impressive. Maybe not impressive as the crazy win streak of Koga, but still in a relatively good rank. Not winning as many of his recent games, but you'll note that a lot of his games are against some pretty strong players. So let's see how well Oya can actually do here against the Polish powerhouse. As we get into our third map, it's going to be Fancy 2. Now, Fancy 2 is probably the weirdest map I've had in the STPL, but it kind of isn't, because Fancy 2 is built up of 4 different maps. Top left is Neo Legacy of Char, top right is Nostalgia, bottom right is Ride of the Valkyries, and bottom left is Sin Gamer Go On. And honestly, the games on it, even though the bases are so completely weird, it somehow plays out with macro games, and they're really fun as well. Like, this is a really fun map to watch. Whenever I look back in 2017, I used to host a tournament called the Clash for Char, and that used to be like a weekly cup format, kind of like Havatyu is. And Fancy 2 always led to some really, really good games. So looking forward to seeing it as we get into game number 3. It's match point here for iRk. Can they take it home 3-0? Or is Kogut gonna keep the dream alive? Let's get started. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position in the Nostalgia spawn, it's Oya fighting for iRk. And his opponent starting in the Neo Legacy of Char spawn, it's gonna be Kogut fighting for NetWars. Now, the Neo Legacy of Char spawn is a little bit better here for Oya. Oya very much an aggressive player, going for a lot of one base Reaver, maybe DTs sometimes as well. I've seen DTs. He used DTs and beat Scan if I remember correctly. The important thing to note here is the actual layout of the map. So if we actually reveal it, zoom out a little bit, look at how much airspace is around Kogut's base. It is actually kind of ridiculous. Like, this is so good for Reavers to come in. It's really good for carriers a little bit later on. But now the big difference about this map is it was somewhat balanced for a more modern meta. Even though that more modern meta, I think was... when was it? It was 2007 for the Ever OSL they used it for. So, I mean, macro play was kind of normal. People needed to get 2 gas at that point, so there are gases at all the naturals, whereas in original Nostalgia there wasn't a gas at the natural if I remember correctly. So it does balance out a little bit. Obviously some of the spawns are better than others, at least positionally for certain races. Like, this is a really good defensive spawn for Terran, but obviously shuttle play is going to be quite strong here, so you do need to watch out for that. The Devil Probe coming in here from Oya, just doing as much damage and just being as annoying as possible to Kogut as possible, wants to delay the barracks because there is a gateway in the middle of the map. Now, this gateway is actually still quite far away from his opponent, so this Zealot is still going to take a long time to get into the base. The first Marine should not be finished. As a matter of fact, it will be. And this is a really long, like, this is a really, really long rush distance. Like, it doesn't look like it, but it takes an absolute age for units to get down here. But yeah, Customers, Oya is a very aggressive player against Terran, especially. Even against against Zerg and Protoss, he's quite aggressive. But here we go. Looks like the Zealot going to get in the main. We do have the anti-Zealot SimCity here, but not going to help out too much if the Zealot goes towards his mineral line. Unfortunately, both players' units glitching out a little bit on top of those SCVs. At first it was benefiting the Zealot, and then all of a sudden the Marine just decided to just get himself stuck. A single Marine, a single SCV going down so fast. Second Marine is going to most likely go down here to the second Zealot. Really surprised he didn't send the Zealot over around the other side. This SCV getting away with its life here. But this is so annoying for Kogut to have to deal with. Kogut not even scouting out his opponent, leaving his SCV down there on the bottom left. Old school asks, why do you not block the door on the map? Why didn't you wall in? Because if you wall in, it can sometimes make things a little bit more awkward later on. Like, there's not exactly too much room to build factories on this with this spawn. So looks like we are going to have a lot of damage coming in here for Oya. And if Kogut can't hold on here, remember guys, this is match point for iRk. If they win here, that's going to give them the first win of the STPL, which is really good for them, of course. But it looks like the Vulture coming out here going to help out a little bit. Kogut is going to be down on workers for a little bit, but we do have a lot of dead Zealots here for Oya. And he does, of course, have to worry about... he does have to worry about what's coming after, so... Custom use, I think Kogut definitely knows his style, but the trouble is with Proxy Gate, even if you know it's coming, like, if you don't scout it, you can't... I mean, you prepared for it, it's just Oya kind of microed a little bit better, I think. But looks like Kogut still hasn't found his opponent just yet. I think he may have seen the gateway in the middle, And there is 4 Marines here, so he is going to be safe for the time being. Finally, the Vulture's actually not going to get into the main, but he does see what's going on. Needs to pull this back, make sure not to lose it. Very, very important you keep as many Vultures alive as possible. But it is good to finally get that scouting information in. Now, is he going to turn around and try and get back into the main? That would be an incredibly good move. Looks like he's actually going to go down and get repaired, which is also good, but here we go. Looks like we've got the Dragoons trying to get onto the high ground. Are going to be able to take down a couple of these Zealots, a couple of these Marines, even mines are not yet done. So these 2 Dragoons are actually going to do a ton of damage, going to kill this first Vulture. Now, repair is not possible on this Vulture just yet, but he is going to go do it now. But he is blocking the ramp. This is the most important moment in this game. He kills one of the Dragoons. Mines are going to come up on the high ground. And realistically, he's actually managed to defend. Now, there was no repair gone down on this. Looks like Oya did scout it, so he does know to go back home. But he is going to be able to get mines up outside the bridge, which makes it very annoying for a Protoss player. Now there is going to be a dropship coming in here from Koga. Now the tables are going to be turned. I said that this base was a good droppable base. But so is this one. Especially when you know your opponent's Dragoons are all out the front of your base. Oh, the mine, the mine, the mine, the mine! Okay, that was a little bit bad there from Oya. Oh no, he's leading with the undamaged Dragoon. He's going to try and get some hits off on the barracks. That doesn't really matter. This dropship is going to be the real story in this game. There's actually no units back here to defend. The 2 Dragoons are actually going out the front. The Vulture at the front being a great decoy. Koga can move up here, put mines at the top of the ramp, and Oya is going to be unable to get back in his base. We saw a lot of it. Well, we saw a few SCVs go down before. Oh, he didn't actually mine the ramp properly. Okay, that's a little bit weird by Koga. He is still going to be able to get a good number of these probes. Speed is kicked in, but good wall in of the Vultures here by the probe and the pylon. But this is definitely a good move. Koga actually going to take quite a big SCV lead. 7 probes going down from that Vulture. Very, very nicely done by Koga. Oh, the mine as well. Oh no, the mine. Oh, that value. So much damage going down onto Oya's units. Now, Koga needs to be careful. Doesn't want to be losing this tank. Oh, the mine. Oh, what a move by Koga. What a bait. But the tank is going to go down. But that's a lot of dead Dragoons. That's been a lot of dead probes. There's a Wraith even coming out here looking for the shuttle. He knows one is going to be on the way. Can he find it? If he gets this shuttle, that may as well be game. It looks like the Wraith can't find it just yet. The shuttle going to go at the very, very top of the map. Going to try and move down into this natural, or into the main base even, but the Wraith is getting so close. This is so important. If he catches the shuttle, it's essentially game over. He sees it. Is it quick enough? No. The shuttle is going to be able to drop the Reaver on the high, or on the drop the Reaver on the island. Don't lose the Reaver. Oh my god, that Wraith does go down. That's such a clutch hold here by Koga. Sorry, by Oyaji, but he nearly lost his Reaver. Here we go. Looks like he's going to get in the main here. The Reaver dropping down. The Marine. Oh no, there's another Wraith. Wraith even. Wow, my inner Essex came out there, but looks like the Reaver going to go down. Not as much damage done as he wants to. Doesn't even get that mine off, the Scarab off on the siege tank. And doing a little bit of damage with the Reaver, but certainly not enough. Now, both players still on one base. Looks like we are going to have Koga expanding first here. This tank is in a very precarious position, but is going to be able to save this. But Koga definitely showing why he's the number 3 Terran, number 3 player, number 2 Terran, sorry, in the STPL rankings. He is so unbelievably good. Polish Powerhouse is such a fitting name for him, and I know I came up with it, but I'm going to make it stick. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to keep saying it until other people say it as well, like the Viking Terran. Now Rapid calls Medina that as well, but really, really good. Koga does lose one of his tanks, which is not a problem. Which is a problem, sorry, because it means later on he's not going to be able to push. And this command center is getting a little bit worse. Well, thank you, Scan, for the 176 viewer host. Is that Scan? Yeah, it is Scan. I can read the Hangul now. Welcome, welcome. You're just watching Koga beat Oya at the moment, but Oya is still playing well. He's still coming back. Scan, of course, if you're not sure who he is. Amateur Korean Terran, #1 in the STPL rankings. Oh yeah, gonna jump on top of this final tank here, but the mine, oh, the mine not doing too much, but this second mine could be so clutch. No, it doesn't go off, so it doesn't do too much, but the tank coming in here, finishing off those Dragoons. And things are looking a little bit better. Wraith going in to try and scout for an additional shuttle, but doesn't manage to find it. So close yet again, though. Looks like the shuttle with speed is going to be able to try and make its way past, but the Dragoons at the front in a very precarious position, still going up against mines, going up against the siege tank. Oh my god, the Reaver's going to get to the main base. The shuttle, the Wraith is going to be able to get the shuttle eventually. A big Scarab going off, only getting 2 SCVs though, but still going to be very annoying to try and clean up. The shuttle is still alive, the Wraith goes down, and the harassment is going to continue. This is such a ridiculous game. Both players playing super aggressive here. The Reaver going to be able to get the tank. Not shooting the tank is an interesting choice, but going to be able to get a Scarab down. Is it going to bug out? The SCVs are actually going to get to the minerals. No, it does bug. But there we go. Looks like the the Dragoon did eat a mine, but it is going to keep the Reaver alive. That's going to be a big Scarab. 4 kills. Not too bad. Now the Reaver's going to get away. It's got very low health. There's nothing here to contest the shuttle though. A third Wraith actually is being built in this game. The Reaver is going to drop down. This shuttle is going to be forfeit now. Unfortunately, no, this is not a good time to pick up the Reaver. This is not a good time to pick up the Reaver. There's no way he's saving that. Drop the Reaver. Okay, he drops the Reaver. He's nearly in a position to save it, but it's only 2 hits away from death. And it goes down. So that's another Reaver, another shuttle down. Koget's Wraith coming in clutch. And Koget is looking to be in a very good position. Oh yeah, managing to secure his natural expansion though. Still, well, up to 3 gates now. Another Reaver, another shuttle is coming in. A very bold play. Actually 4 gates, sorry, I forgot about this one on another map. But going for Reaver shuttle non-stop is very bold when you know your opponent is going for a lot of Wraiths. Because, I mean, you're just going to keep losing the Reavers over and over again. So let's see if he can make this work. Gonna drop the Reaver on the low ground. This time gonna... Oh, this is really unfortunate from Koga, actually pulling away. That's like the anti-timing here. You've obviously got a lot of good timings in Brood War, but this is one of the worst ones. But that mine... Oh, the mine's gonna be so strong here. Okay, these Dragoons aren't gonna do anything. Koga in a very good defensive position. The Reaver gonna come in, try and do its best, but I mean, the shuttle's already nearly dead. Gonna escape with at least most of his units, but still losing a few of them. Koget going for a drop of his own again. This is going to be his second drop in the game, and this time it is completely uncontested. There was 2 Dragoons in the base before, but I mean, this time there's 3 Dragoons back at home. If this tank gets in a good position and sieges, I really don't see how he's not just going to do 1,000,000 damage. Looks like the probe's getting in a position, try and defend against this. Siege mode is coming in. Let's keep an eye on that kill count. It's 3 kills so far. Tank getting focus fire, 4 focus fire. The mine's doing loads of damage though. And now the probes aren't going to be able to get to the vultures. Wow, Koga is doing such a good job this game. He defended, nearly said Gosuvigi. I don't know why I read your name in chat. He nearly defended, well, he defended Oya's aggression really well. He did a really good job against the Reaver Scarabs. He did a really good job against the Reaver Shuttles. He's going up to his 3rd base here. Now, the 3rd base on this map is a mineral only, unless you take this island base, which is actually really good for Terran in these positions. But we've got to remember there is still the threat of drops. Now, this is rough, because this shuttle keeps running into Wraiths, and it's not much long for this world. He is going to be able to take down this Wraith, but... not quite. Now, I do call Koga the Polish powerhouse, but another thing he's well known for is actually his Wraith usage outside of Korea. Like, he's one of the main players who goes for a lot of 2-port Wraith in TVZ, and he really does know how to control them, and the way he's been controlling them in this game to really take control of the skies has been great. Like, it's been very difficult for Oya to really ever go for any drops. Now, the vultures... yeah, I'm able to clean up one of these gateways in the map. 3rd base is done for Oya. 3rd base is about to be done here for Koga as well. Now, Oya, despite losing a load of probes, and Koga, despite losing a load of SCVs, are actually both doing a really... oh my god, mines. Oh, yeah, geez. Anti-mine micro is not the best this game. Certainly not going to be feeling good about how many units he's lost to mines. I mean, we're at 15 minutes into the game and Koga is now getting his academy. Like, he's just known exactly what his opponent's doing all game without needing it. It's kind of weird to think, but looks like we are going to have another dropship coming around here. Gonna go onto the high... Gonna go into the third base here. Now, there is a high ground here, and if you drop a tank here, you can actually use it to attack these Dragoons. Now, looks like he is gonna go straight in, actually dropping off a Vulture here to block the fourth base from coming in. But let's see if he takes this position. He is? No, okay, he's not. That's actually a really good spot. If you're looking for a good spot to drop his Terran on this map against that base, it's actually really, really good. Now, he does manage to save himself against that mine, so we finally do have a little victory here for Oyaji in the middle of the map. Looks like this dropship's going to go back home, probably pick up another tank and come back in another day. By blocking that base, he does actually block Oya from being able to expand to a fourth base, which is pretty good. Koga in securing his third base is going up to 1, 2, only 3 factor, or 4, 5, sorry. That'll teach me to not scroll up enough. What are the upgrades like for Koga though? Because Koga, his armory was very late. He is on +1, but he's not got +2 on the way yet. He's had the Science Facility for a while now. And if you skip +2, that's the kind of move you need to make to let Protoss back in the game in the late game. Because if you do not have your upgrades, even against the 0-0 Protoss army, you can struggle a little bit. And I feel that's where we're going to see Koga struggle a little bit. 2-1 is only just now coming in. We're nearly 17 minutes into this game. His army is very strong for sure. Oya hasn't really been able to max out or go anywhere near max at the moment. He's been kind of trading away units to mines for a very, very long time. But look at Koga here. He's going for the... this is a very fantasy-esque style play. Go for double dropship, send 4 tanks in, run all of your vultures with them as well to just lay mines everywhere, and you're eventually going to be able to clean up a base or two. So let's see if Koga's able to do it. The mine's not doing too much. Oh, that does a lot. But here we go. The vulture's going to get into the third base here. Not going to bother with the cannon. Knows he only needs to kill probes here, as the probes are the main thing that's keeping Oya in the game. The economy from the Protoss player is strong at the moment, and he needs to weaken it. The cannons are eventually going to clean this up, and it does mean that back at home, Koga isn't going to have many vultures. He's got about 1 control group left, and these this double drop didn't actually do anything. Like, he could have... One of the other places you can drop is actually up here, and you can attack the Nexus, and it's very hard to push into there. So let's see if Koga's actually going to do it. But this is a really, really sick game. Observer going down there in the middle. Now, what tech do we have? We have Arbiter tech coming in, at the very least, so that's good. Recall, quite strong on this map in these positions. We've got the dropship being scouted out by the probe, but he's just going to build... I hate this. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to build a Nexus. Like, what are you going to do about it? You can kill it? I'll just come and kill your tanks. Like, so what? 400 minerals. I mean, that's actually a major deal. Like, he should have cancelled that. But Koga definitely doing a really, really good job this game. Oh yeah, definitely not one to be discouraged either. He's up to 4 base now. He's going to be able to start flooding a lot of gateways. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 gates is a little bit low. You kind of want a few more gateways than this. Maybe put some gateways in the natural here, given there's not much room in the main. A lot of units kind of down here in the bottom left. I think he's trying to scout out for if Koga is trying to take a 4th base. It's quite easy to stop Terran taking a 4th here, but we'll have to see if he can. Looks like Koga is just going to hide an SCV down here for now, just to keep an eye out. Now we've got another dropship going around the bottom left of the map. This gateway in the middle is still alive, so I guess it's technically 8 gates. But this one mine is just waiting to explode like 50 Dragoons. I can just see it. Now it looks like Koga getting ready to max out here. He's up to 186 supply, 2-1 upgrades just about to finish. This timing may a little bit later than you would normally see it, but it's still going to be a strong timing here. Oh yeah, does not have enough energy yet for a stasis. I don't even know if he's got his first arbiter here, but look at the surround coming in here from Oya, getting on top of absolutely everything. Zealots coming in from the side, the vultures soaking up a lot of these hits though, and this army may just be a little bit too strong from Koga, but no, Oya, his army is still surrounding this Terran pool, but look at the power of 2-1. This is where things start to go south for our Protoss player. We're going to have Koga unsieging everything, pushing immediately for these bridges. If he can get over the edge of these bridges, there is no way that Oya is going to be leaving his base. I mean, he can go through this small ramp, but that ain't going to happen. Looks like he is going to try and push back in. There is a shuttle here without anything in. Finally, we have the Arbiter coming up, but Dragoons dying absolutely everywhere. Certainly not what you want to see. I know he is going to find this tough. He doesn't have a gateway farm in another base. We've actually got a drop on this high ground. 7 kills on this tank. Going to be attacking that Nexus eventually. I know he just doesn't have the units to be able to clean this up. Oh, that's a big stasis. Oh my god, the mine track as well. Oh, but unfortunately Oya just doesn't have the army. Like, he doesn't have enough units to be able to defend against this army, man. Oya throughout the whole game played so unbelievably aggressive that he lost so many units, he lost so many Reavers, so many shuttles. The Nexus is under fire. There's absolutely no units that can come down here to defend this. And Koget's going to take this high ground position. His 5 tanks are about to unfreeze, 6 tanks even, and GG. Oya taps out. And Koget takes game number 3 and keeps the dream alive for NetWars. Okay, we'll be going for a very short break and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with with match number 4. It's Vodi versus Zero. See you there. Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be heading into game number 4 of NetWars versus iRk. iRk are still up on match point at the moment, but they are going to be up against a tough opponent here. It's Mr. Bombastic himself, it's Mr. Zero, one of the best Polish Zerg players. A really good Zerg player in the STPL as well. And overall, just a great guy. It's going to be really, really cool here. He has won most of his last 10 games. He's got a 25% win rate though against Terran. Definitely struggling maybe a little bit more than a lot of the Zerg players do in ZBT. But Mr. Bombastic is going to be up against a very old school name here. At least I think he's old school. I don't know enough about Vodi, but I've definitely heard his name a lot and I can't remember why. Vodi, really, really cool player from Sweden. Haven't seen him in the STPL, and I'll admit I don't think I've seen any of his games, so I can't figure out how strong he's going to be, but he's in iRk, he's been put in as one of their main players, And honestly, if you get to do that as a Terran player, you know you're going to be good, because the other two Terrans on iRk that get most of the play is Marwyn and SPX, and they're two of the best non-Korean Terrans. So let's have a look at the map we're going to be going into. It's the work of art, it's Core Breach. You may have seen it in ASL 9 as in a Coven, but this is the up-to-date version. It's kind of like Neo in a Coven, but it's got a different name because Freakling said it's kind of got a different feel to it. There's definitely a lot more emphasis on the middle of the map now rather than just the islands around the outside. The island bases around the outside are a little bit harder to hold on to as well, as they're actually droppable cliffs on all of them. So a lot more difficult to hold on to those bases. Definitely makes this an interesting way of playing this map. Now, without further ado, let's get into game number 4. It's iRk's Body versus NetWars 0 on Core Breach. The game has begun, and starting us off here in the bottom left-hand position is going to be the one, the only, is iRk's Body. That's our Terran. And his opponent spawning in the top right-hand corner. It's Mr. Bombastic himself. It's the one, the only, Zero fighting for NetWars. Now, TBZ on this map, I know a lot of people said this was really difficult for Terran. It's going to be really, really hard to really expand, because you can't necessarily go by on this map, because if mutas catch you when you're running through the D-webs, it's a big problem. So it's likely that we're going to be seeing a mech play or a mech opening coming out here from Vodi. I've also seen a lot of two-port Wraith play coming out from Terran Pros here. This is definitely one of the weirder maps in the map pool. It is a semi-island map. You can walk through the middle, kind of like you could on Neo Arkanoid. But it plays a lot more like an island map than Neo Arkanoid did, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. Now, there are these floor gun traps, which are actually placed, and they are invisible to the naked eye. You need observers, or overlords, or turrets, or something, or scans, to be able to see it. And this is to make it so Zerg can expand without any problems, and Protoss and Terran have to either expand off-center or work for it. They have to get some form of... no way. 2 racks immediately here from Vodi. Either this is going to be like one of the most old-school expansion timings ever of a 2 racks expand from like the Boxer era, or this is going to be like a crazy all-in. We'll have to see how this goes. You can actually... Okay, I'm going to explain this the way I explained a lot of STPL Season 2. We used Neo Arkanoid in STPL Season 2, and if you don't know it, it's a map where there's literally neutral buildings all over the map. Realistically, you shouldn't be able to play aggressive there, but one man, the Neo Arkanoid specialist in Essen, managed to get ZBZ there 6 games in a row, and 6 of 6 games he did the exact same thing. He went 1 base. Oh my goodness, I forgot they changed, or Freakling changed it. You can build a lot more spaces in the middle of the map. Vodi is going to be building Marines and Medics over in the direct center of the map here, and he is going to use that to make a really quick push. Now, the reason why I said this shouldn't work is these stasis cells, there's 2 of them stacked, they have 2,000 health, and I think they have quite high armor as well. And basically what it means is that it takes forever to break through the buildings with bio. Like, as tanks, you can do it quite quickly because you've got splash damage. And you can do it with fire bats. I mean, I've seen it before. It's definitely one of the weirdest things you'd ever see. But I saw a game on Neo Medusa where someone beat the, like, 6 stacked temples down with, like, 50 fire bats or something. But I don't think we're going to see that here. But he is going to go for a very aggressive play here off of just 1 base, including adding a 3rd barracks on. Now, 3 racks on 1 base is, for all intents and purposes, an all-in. Like, it's very difficult to transition off of this. Now we've got Zero going for a third base. Now, the ironic thing about this is due to the way these bases work, Vodi, if he can get into the main and if he can clear everything up, he's going to be able to win the game that way. Now, Zero has to win this game. If he cannot win here, we will not go to the ace match, and iRk will win the first match in Season 3, 3-1 over NetWars. But we've got Stim coming in. Stim feels really late, given how early the barracks were. So the fact he's not going to have Stim is going to make this a lot worse than it should be. Now, Zero is not going to see anything, which is going to tip him off that something weird may be going on, but there's no Sunkens. A Zergling is going to scout this, which makes this very, very unfortunate here for Vodi, because this is quite possibly the worst situation he can be in. Now, how many Sunkens is Vodi going to add? Realistically, he should add up to about 3 or 4, so we'll have to see, because it's super important that he defends against this. Now, this base can be blocked by some Lings in the Disruption Web, and he will not be able to get through. But we've got 2 creep colonies coming up. Looks like Vodi knows they're here. But these stasis cells, they take so long to break through. Look at this. Okay, now he's here. He stims. He's going to try and get in before the Sunkens are done. One of them is about to finish, though. The medics are not in front. He gets up. Can he do the damage he needs to? Looks like he's going to be soaking some of that hit to get a lot of drone kills. This is an incredibly strong timing here by our Swedish Terran player. Zero is not quite ready for this. His drones are going to go to the other base, but the Spire is going to go down, but the Mulis are already on the way. 4 Mulis going to spawn in the main base here by Zero. This is the 4th one, sorry. But the Overlord's going to go down, the spawning pool going to go down as well, and with no Spire and with no pool, Zero is not going to be able to build any units. The units that he has, there's a term in IT called WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get, and that's exactly what we've got here. Vodi was even trying to build a turret in Zero's main. Oh my goodness. Now there we go. It looks like the lair's going to go down. There's going to be no more Spire. But the trouble is he going to be able to get through the disruption webs? The Mutalists are going to get 3 hits. If he pulls drones and just blocks this, Vodi cannot get through. This is all on Zero here. He has to block the disruption webs. He's got absolutely nothing to be able to defend this base. 7 Mutalisks? That's not enough. You have to block it. Vodi needs to go. Like, he's got an advantage right now, but the trouble is he can't push through the disruption web. He doesn't know if it's blocked. He can't attack the Mutalisks while he's down there. He's actually breaking back into his own main with his Marines to go and defend his main base, but Zero has no units he has to worry about. Like, the trouble is he has to worry. Oh, sorry, he does have to worry about something. But if Zero plays a little bit too brazen here with these Mutalists, he's going to be in a very bad position. His Spire is only just now finishing, and this is the only unit producing, or not producing, but unit tech structure he has. Zero going to be taking the other main base. Vodi should certainly look to try and break down there. If you can break down there, you can get into this base a little bit easier. But Zero, his economy isn't that bad. He's still on 2 base. He's got 18 drones. Vodi is stuck on 1 base still, because realistically, you can't really transition out of this too easily. He's going to go for 1 base tech by the looks of it. Now, the one problem Vodi has is he has no scans. Like, he's got 1 comsat. He's not going to be able to do anything against this. Now, there's still only 6 Mutalists, plus 1 Carapace is coming in. 7th is going to come back in as well. Vodi is not done with his push, but I still do not think it's worth not expanding. You should definitely expand behind here. When you're in such a good position as Terran, it's so easy to lose the game by just not expanding. Like, he just threw a scan down. He scanned the other base, so he knows it's there. It's just he's still not in a position to defend or to attack it. But if he just stims and runs through, he's still in a good spot. Vodi's scanning again. He sees there's no defense there. He should just go. Like, the 7 Mutalists are not going to be able to kill all your Marines under the disruption web, so just run. Just go for it. Take a bet. Here we go. He's going to run the medics and the Marines. They cannot attack, but there's no drones blocking. He's going to get out of the disruption web on the other side. His Marines are still stuck in the D-web, but the ones that are out are doing a ton of damage to the Mulus. There's so much devastation. The Mule is taking so much damage, and the Spire is going to go down again. How many times is this Spire going to die? How many times are we going to kill the Spire here? But oh my god, the Marines are all dying. But there we go, GG. Zero taps out. And Vody wins game number 3. There we go. I genuinely thought that this series could go to an ace match, but Vody says no. He's going to shut you up. He is going to put you down. He'll run into your main off of one base and just kill you. Like, realistically, that shouldn't work. Like, I don't quite understand it, man, but that was really, really good. Such a good game by Vody there. I mean, it was a nice try by Zero, but he played incredibly greedy. He wasn't scouting. He had absolutely no idea what his opponent was doing. And when that happens and you're up against a good Terran, that's it, I'm afraid. You gotta get punished. But that was a really, really well done game by Vody. A great first start to his career in the STPL. But let's have a look at the results. iRk are going to take down NetWars here, but we'll bring up the results just to kind of bring everything back. And here we go. Okay, so True Touch taking down Ziggy. I'm not really too sure people would be surprised about that. He did actually lose to like a Ling All-In, which is a little bit unfortunate. DeWalt taking down Yeti in a very tense and close PvP on Hitchhiker. Very, very good game there. Yeti almost beat his losing streak against DeWalt, but unfortunately, the power of DeWalt's play came out in the end and won the game. Koga kept the dream alive with a fantastic win over Ouya, really being one step ahead of the Swedish Protoss the whole way through the game. And then Zero losing, unfortunately, to Vody, giving iRk the 3-1 victory here over NetWars. Now, the sad thing is, that is going to be the end of Week 1 of STPL Season 3, but the good news is we have another, let me just double check, we've got another 10 weeks of group stage coming up. We've got the playoffs, which will be 5 weeks of games as well. The casts are always on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2100 CEST. If you want to check the Week 2 lineups, I've posted them on Team Liquid already, but let me just get you a link to them. The other thing I'd like to obviously do is give a massive, massive shout out to our sponsors, Liquipedia, Esport Fund and Matrino, for being so damn generous, giving us so much money towards the prize pool. Our prize pool is currently sat at $1,200 of our $2,000 prize pool goal, and most of it is due to the fantastic sponsorships from them. Another massive thank you to all the players, the teams, the captains. If you want to support the teams in a way that doesn't involve money, but does involve even the smallest bit of artistic merit, you can actually make a terrible thing. You can actually submit a cheerful that will be played on stream from next week. Lucky Noob has actually made some incredibly good ones, so don't look at his ones and then say, well, I can't make anything as good as that, because when you look at the one Cadenzi made, I think if she can do that, anyone can do one. So get your cheerfuls in. And if you're a map maker for STPL Season 4, we're looking for new maps. I will show Malcolm's video before we close out. But one other thing that I need to do is say a massive thank you to our patrons. I need to remake the patron video. But essentially, we've got 11 of you wonderful people, just trying to figure out who they actually are. There's not a really easy way of saying it, but we have Sabbath, Ashwin, Buena, Beefy, Dr. Bear, Dreamer, Gosuvigi, Kamchak, Testing, Shad, William, and Winnower. I think a couple of them may have cancelled this month, but we've still got 11 of you guys supporting the STPL. It means so much. Thank you, of course, to all of you guys who tuned in. If you came to us from the end of Scan Stream, hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. We'll be back from next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as always, at 2100 CEST. If you want to find out the cast times, you can check on Team Liquid. Follow us at STPL TV on Twitter. And if you want to see the VODs, you can check out STPL TV on YouTube as well. Thank you once again, and I will see you guys next time.
STPL Season 3. Yeah. STPL DAS. Bio TVP? Wow! No problem. We got dragons to defend. Yeah. STPL DAS. STPL DAS. Mass Scout? Oh, I'm so afraid. We got Hydralists to defend. Yes. STPL. STPL. Fantastic production. Fantastic casters. Fantastic prize pool. Only in STPL.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Okay, it's time for a quick tip. Here we have Neo Outlier. I'm going to show you how to get over these temples with a probe. I'll also do it with an SCV and a drone as well. So what you do is you essentially send the probe up to mine, you press stop, and you go to build a pylon. Now you build the pylon underneath you, so essentially it's going to push you, then you spam right click, and all of a sudden